Hey guys, welcome to the Starseed Healing Temple. Thank you for joining me for today's reading. You guys, bear with me. It is summertime here in Georgia. Today is 97. It feels like we're in the hundreds. I have to have the air conditioning going in here. Just bear with me as we get through these hot months. Hopefully the noise interference isn't too annoying and frustrating. If it is, I completely understand. Yeah, so those of you who are willing to tolerate it, thank you for joining me today. We're going to take a look at how you are transforming. What lessons have you overcome? What's the new page that you're on? You know, how have you healed, etc. Things in those terms. So we have three piles for you to choose from today. Choose the one that you are drawn to the most. I chose to use the butterflies today to represent that transformation, the coming out of the cocoon, the blossoming, the growth that you have experienced. For pile number one, we have the panther with the ruby zoisite butterfly. For pile number two, we have the hare, and that is with the dream amethyst butterfly. For pile number three, we have the llama, and that is with the blue Aventurine butterfly. Alright, these are the pile choices for today. Pause the video. If you need more time to meditate and decide which one is speaking to you, follow your intuition. Take what messages resonate with you. These are general readings. Everything's not going to align with you in your personal journey. So because there's so many people that will listen to this, not everything's going to hit everyone in the exact same way. It may have been something you've already been through, or it may be something that maybe along the journey that you haven't experienced yet. All right, you guys, those are your piles. The timestamps are located in the description box below, and I'll see you all at your readings. Welcome, pile number one. You guys are drawn to the panther and the ruby zoisite. You are in the right reading if those are the ones you were drawn to. I'm going to pull your cards on camera. Y'all can comment below if this is something that you enjoy. I particularly, it depends on my day. Sometimes I want to just get to the reading, and sometimes I enjoy the shuffling and the sounds and the connection directly to spirit before the reading begins, and to just see the process. But everybody's different, and that's what makes the world beautiful. All right, how is pile number one transformed? I'm gonna do the cards first, and then we'll get into the messages coming through with these two. Pile number one, how is pile number one transformed? Let's get two of these, please. Just saw this one. Pile, ooh. Wow. Cards are jumping. They wanted a lot of these. Okay. I didn't intend for that. I actually wanted maybe just a few from each deck that I planned on using. But your cards are very loud. They're very... Here I am. Alright, let's get these. I just got this deck the other day. This one too, I'm in love. Alright, let's get maybe, wow, okay. See how that one just dropped out. Maybe somebody's left your life. I feel like we'll stop here and let's see what we have coming through. That way I can discuss what's already wanting you to know. So I feel like we have with the panther, and it says protection. Consider who you allow to take your energy and who you give it away to freely. I feel like those of you who are drawn to this, you definitely have come to the part of your life, the phase of the journey where you're learning to love you and to value you and say no and set up healthy boundaries. We have that protection coming through here, and like you're learning to discern between people who say they love you and want to be in your life and have that mutual respect and exchange of energy flow that feels good, and choosing, being more discerning about who is worthy of your energy, your time, your heart, your love, etc. The panther, when I think of the Black Panther, it reminds me of the old soul, because a panther is somebody who is very wise, they're very watchful, they're not afraid of the dark, they're not afraid to face their fears, you know, they embrace the darkness because they know there's nothing to fear. So I feel like you are learning to protect your heart, choosing yourself, being more discerning about the people that are in your environment here. So definitely a lot of heart healing, heart empowerment, standing up for yourself, being more observant of people and not just, you know, taking their word as truth. All right, let's see how else you're transforming. Okay, and we have the tears. So yes, definitely some healing, some release. Maybe there's been people who you've had to walk away from, people who you've had to set those healthy boundaries. And it can be very hard and such a struggle, especially when you love these individuals, you know, and if you're very empathic, you have a lot of empathy and love for other people because you see, you know, the divinity within them. You can see their potential, you know, you see beyond the pain, you see beyond the patterns and the programmings and, you know, the programming from the world, and you can see like their soul, you know, and you see their inner child, because we are all one. But what you are seeing is that reflection of your own love staring back at you, right? You can see into the soul, into the heart of the person, but they have all this pain and experience and hardness around them, and that's what they're expressing at the moment. And so you've learned to step back from that and not give your heart away to people who are in that painful time of their life, you know. So I feel like you've had to say no. You've had to put a wall up and say, you know, I mean, not a wall, but set the boundary that says, I'm not going to, I don't deserve to be treated poorly by you when I haven't been the person who caused you that pain, right? So I feel like you've definitely released a little bit of fear about speaking your truth and standing up for yourself. And we have the cave. Yeah, you've been doing a lot of inner work. I feel like that's why you are fearless, because you have gone within, you've embraced yourself deeply to know, to shine a light on those fears so that you can release them, so that you can integrate them and honor them and understand where they come from, so that they're no longer controlling you. You become the master of your inner world. You see the truth. And like you can see beyond people's manipulations now. I feel like you can see when someone's lying to you. You're not afraid to say no anymore. Not afraid to know your worth and your values, to wait for the right time to act, to move, to speak, etc. Oh, we have the sweetness. Yes, look at that. The heart coming through. Success. Oh, perfect. And we have stop. Yeah, you're telling people like, no, this is not worth my heart. This is not worth my time, my love, my energy. Thou shalt not pass, I heard. We have the ghost. Okay. And we have happiness. Yeah, you've made peace with the past. This could be a past version of yourself, or past experience, past relationships, or healed the ghosts of the past, you know, those memories that may have made you feel like you weren't good enough, that prevented you from protecting yourself and protecting your heart. And now you're choosing you choosing to love yourself, that your needs matter, and that your cup needs to be filled first before it can then overflow and be shared with others. You know, we can't pour from an empty cup. And whereas in the past, that may have been something that you just did. You gave to everyone, you loved everyone, you wanted to see the best in everyone. And it's very draining to be a yes person and to ignore your own feelings and your own needs, because you're trying to serve the many, but you can't serve if you have nothing, you know, if your well is dry, you know what I mean? You have to love yourself and not pour from an empty space, pour from a full cup. We have structure and foundation. And you have Saturn coming through. Okay, yes, learning new patterns. You've been working on, you know, the foundation of yourself, of your well-being, connecting to your true self, you know, your own wisdom, your own intuition, and setting that healthy boundaries, putting in that a plan, you know, making a plan for yourself, not being afraid to, you know your worth and your value, and to walk away from anyone who doesn't want to honor and respect those boundaries. Yeah, you've learned a lot. This is the pattern that's transforming here, is you no longer being like a doormat, you know. And it says until death tear us apart, until death tears us apart. Karmic relationships, yeah, you're learning karmic lessons and overcoming that. And then, you know, Saturn isn't only like the lesson bringer, he also restores that karma. So the more your karma bank is like, you've made all these deposits, and all the love is waiting for you in the karmic bank, but you haven't been able to receive it. And it's because you were giving it away all the time, you know, constantly doing and putting yourself out there. And now it's time for you to stop putting it out there and pour it into your own cup, you know, and shifting the flow of energy, so it's no longer just being wasted on people who don't appreciate it, because, you know, you want that love in return. You're learning that you have to give it to yourself in order for you to receive it. Beautiful. Congratulations, pile number 1. You should be so happy and so proud of yourself, because you have successfully observed that pattern and healed that pattern and broken that cycle. And the sun is shining, the sun is coming out. It's like a whole new day. It's a whole rebirth for you. It's a whole new experience. You know, it may be a little unsettling at first because it's a new energy, a new version of yourself that you have to get used to, and you have to just take baby steps, you know, and just keep giving yourself love and pouring into your cup and acknowledging, you know, if your intuition, if your gut instinct is telling you yes, no, and, you know, you're reading the signs, you're becoming more observant, you're listening to that intuition, to your inner light. We have Jupiter. Ooh, we got expansion and growth, passion, adventure, good luck, good fortune, new opportunities. That's so exciting for you guys. Woo-hoo. What else do we have? We have peace. Oh, look, and we have the dove with the blue heart. Your heart is blooming. Your heart is healing. We have this purity, that inner child being restored. Yeah, I feel like life is just is feeling peaceful. You're gonna make peace with yourself, make peace with the past. You brought that beautiful love to your inner child. What else do we have? We have wisdom. Beautiful. Yeah, that old soul. Yeah, you're not afraid anymore, and you're no longer living from a place of fear. You're living from a place of peace and love and, you know, the sweetness of life, and enjoying to embrace every day and every moment. I love it. Oh, I'm so excited. My heart I want to cry for you guys. What else? We have Venus. Ooh, yes, yes. The light of beauty. You're seeing the beauty and around you everywhere, because you're recognizing it, that it must come from within in order for you to receive it in the physical world. You know, it starts in the spiritual. And you have, you know, this is the Empress card in the tarot deck here, you know, growing in love and abundance, love, romance, beauty, you know, sharing and attracting. You're becoming very magnetic. Pile number one. Things are just pouring into your reality because of all the work that you've done. Yeah. Ooh, I want to cry. I'm crying for you guys. It's beautiful. Yeah. Things are just going to be, I mean, you have Venus and Jupiter. This is like an expansion of love. Like your heart is expanding. Your heart is growing and transforming. You're becoming, you're remembering who you are. You're remembering your power. You are remembering that you're an old soul and that you're very wise and that you're a very peaceful being. Yeah. You're a very happy, sweet person, you know. It's easy for you to be in that, and I feel like that is, you know, and you want that for everybody. But their work is their own to do, you know what I mean? They have to learn to overcome and break out of these patterns and these, you know, mental beliefs that they have that keep them in their, you know, their own ghosts. That it is our own job. We are our own healers. We can't do the work for other people. They have to do it for themselves. And we each serve each other, you know, in helping us learn these lessons. And so you can learn to forgive others for, you know, the parts, the roles that they play, you know, the roles that we play in each other's life to teach these hard lessons. Because these are our brothers and sisters, you know. Even if we don't remember each other in this realm, in this physical body, our souls can recognize each other, because ultimately we're all part of the one, you know, but we all individuate so that we can, you know, Source can have all these experiences and to see life and to see, you know, what we can create through free will and through choice, you know. What does each soul choose, and what would that experience look like, you know, if we said yes? And, you know, every moment we make a choice, and so there's an alternate reality where that version of you that said no exists, where that version of you said yes exists, you know. And then it goes on and on and on. So there's like so many different versions. I mean, this can go on, and this is such a deep conversation. Too much for right now, but you know, this is like big soul healing, you know, and it is an individual experience, and it's something that we each individually have to overcome and learn through in order to remember our truth, you know, that we are the divine, that we are always loved, and that we are always worthy. And, you know, we deserve love, we deserve peace, we deserve abundance, we deserve, you know, just enjoying life and having, you know, love and beauty around us and recognizing it, you know, that it's already here. Now we don't have to do anything to deserve it. Ooh, that was big. I have to breathe. I'm going to take something to drink real quick. All right, we have 2 more cards. Let me see what we have. Ooh, we have Pluto. Ooh, transcendence. Yes, finding the power in the shadow. Yes, you are remembering your power. You have come through a big transformation, pile number 1. Big, you know, ego death. I can see this new version of yourself. I can see a complete rebirth and a renewing of your power. What else do we have? Oh my God, we have the first house, you guys, the self, you know, redefining who you are, your self-image, your identity. Yeah, you're remembering yourself, you're remembering your truth. Some of you may, yeah, your third eye is opening up. I feel like your crown chakra, connection to source. Like you're going to start remembering who you are. or you already are. You already reclaim this version of yourself who knows their worth and their power and knows that you are the divine. Woo, yes, the blue rose. This is connection to Mother Mary, I believe, or is this Mary Magdalene? I'm going to say Mother Mary, the mother, mothering yourself, loving yourself, the divine feminine, thank you. Nurturing yourself, loving yourself, stepping into that Empress energy, pile number 1. Woo-hoo-hoo. Where you create from love, you know, and you're giving yourself that love, and you're creating this beautiful sacred space within your heart. It's beautiful. Ooh. Yeah, some of you may be being like very attractive, coming into your divine beauty, or, you know, your masculinity, your handsomeness, your, you know, I'm not sure, what do you call men who are, I don't know, regal? But, I mean, that's somebody, yeah, I would guess regalness. Lords and ladies, your crown chakra opening here, that wanted to come through to your higher self. So happy. Let me see if I can get you a final message here. Yeah, we'll try these. We'll do some angel numbers. Let's see if there's a number or a message that wants to come through here for you all. I mean, your reading was beautiful. I'm not sure if there's anything else that I can add to it, but we will see. Oh my God, look, you have ascension. Your consciousness is expanding, allowing you to see beyond the veils of illusion. As you rise to higher levels of awareness, remember that ascension is not about escaping the world, but transforming within it. Wow, wow, wow. You can't make this stuff up. I love it. You are ascending into a higher version of yourself, and your reality is going to match and align to the foundation, to what you feel, to what you've created within. You know, when we ascend, that means that we have learned from a lesson, and that we're evolving, we're growing, we're expanding into a new level of awareness, and you are expanding into another version of yourself that is very successful in love. You're very happy, you're very peaceful, you're very wise, you know who you are, you know your truth, you are growing, you're expanding, new opportunities will be coming in, abundance is going to be coming in, more love and romance and just money and having lots of fun, you know, a lot of passion, a lot of success, everything. Beautiful. I'm so happy for you guys. Congratulations. All right, I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you all so much for tuning into the channel today. I am sending y'all so much love and a big congratulations. Comment below if y'all feel like sharing your story, or just let me know that this reading resonated with you. I'm sending y'all the biggest hug. Take care and have a blessed day. Hi, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. Y'all bear with me with the noise. I'm sorry. I will try to figure something else out that it can do. So, because I know this can be a little bothersome with the sound. All right, I'm going to pull the cards on camera. Y'all can comment below if this is something that y'all enjoy or not. I'm probably just going to mix it up here and there. I personally prefer to see the shuffling, and sometimes it depends on my day. Sometimes I'll just get to the reading. But some people enjoy the process and some people do not. Let's do these cards. We're going to take a look at how you're transforming pile number 2. I'm going to pull the cards and then we'll get into what's coming through for you guys with your card choices. Oh my goodness. Okay, so a bunch of, one of the decks just kind of flipped over everywhere. Pile number 2. How is pile number 2 transforming? let's get another one. Okay. Let's get a few from this deck here. This one and this one. We'll go ahead and take those. Let's do this one. Okay. Alright, bear with me. I'm going to grab these cards real fast. Okay, yeah, I was just fixing to push record. And just as I did, my kids messaged me. So, you were drawn to the hair pile number 2, and it says strength. Take time to make clear decisions. Bring awareness and light to the situation. Okay, what I see here is you have been, what's been transforming is the way that you make a choice. I feel like you've learned to step back and be more observant before making a decision or taking the next step. Something has come up to the surface for you, I feel like, and you have brought transformation to whatever it was, healing of some kind. Something came into your awareness. You observed something, maybe a pattern or a belief or a behavior, and you've made the conscious choice to heal it, to transform it. Because with rabbits, you know, they typically represent fertility, growth, you know, abundance even. But they are very, you know, they are very observant. They are very watchful because they are a, you know, a sensitive creature. Ooh, perhaps you've learned to tap into your intuition more as well. Yeah, opened up your third eye. Perhaps even brought healing to that sacral chakra. All right, let's see what else we have. We have the mask. Ooh, okay. Well, I guess we can keep that, let's say, right here in the center. So we have the mask and we have the orphan. Oh, wow. Okay, so you're healing. You've healed from a childhood wound, and it could be the way that you see yourself. I feel like, yeah, you're freeing your inner child, whereas before you may have like been hiding yourself away, you know, and not letting everybody see who you are. And I feel like you're revealing this beautiful, colorful, you know, light being. You're perhaps being more discerning and learning to empower yourself to be seen. Yeah, bringing something to light, bringing forth your inner child from the light, healing a childhood wound where that version of yourself may have felt like they've been, you know, alone in the dark on their own, and you've reached your hand to like reclaim that version of yourself so that you can heal and so that you can grow and so that you can feel more comfortable being who you are. Like it's this integration of a childhood wound, especially with the snake. Oh, that's beautiful. We have space. Yeah, see all this darkness? Something that was hidden, a shadow, something from the past, you know, a pattern, a belief system. Perhaps feeling alone in the dark. Wow, that was one of my female goats, and her name is Kenya. And she is a dark complexion, and it is so funny, and she's out here on her own. So there may have been an abandonment wound of some kind, feeling alone by yourself. You know, yeah, exactly, the orphan. an old abandonment wound, of feeling alone. And now, this beautiful hand, you've reached yourself out, you've gone into the darkness, and you've brought it to light. You're bringing that version of yourself into the light online so that it can be shown and seen. Oh yeah, there it is, the rejection, not feeling not good enough, the wound here. And we have trust, look at that. Yes, healing of that inner wound there, healing of the heart. The inner world and the outer world. Yeah, there's this bridge. You've created a bridge. You found the wound. You found the situation that needed your love, that needed your attention, and you've reached out to reclaim that version of yourself so that you no longer feel like you're left alone, that you're not seen, that you're not loved. Oh, look, and you have true love. Beautiful. Healing of the masculine and feminine energy, the heart and mind right here, coming onto the same page. Reparenting self. And we have fun time, and now it's time for fun. Yeah, you're freeing that inner child and allowing your inner child to be seen. We have the vision coming through with the heart, the hawk. Yeah, you have gone within, you've healed this wound. That's what's transforming. You're no longer just gonna like sit around and wait to be seen, to be loved, to have fun, to enjoy life. You're taking your power back and saying, no more. Now I see clearly. I see the lie, I see the pattern, I see the programming, I see the wound, and I'm going to bring it forth. I'm going to heal it. I'm going to love me. I'm going to love that version of me that didn't receive that love at that time, and I'm going to just give it the biggest hug, and now I'm going to free myself, and we're going to go have fun. Yeah, you're leaning into more trust, you know, with the heart and the mind. You're trusting yourself. You're trusting what you feel. We have the Orion, yes, the wise healer, ancient wisdom, the mind and heart connection. Oh, I love it. Mental energy, nature lover, free spirit healer. Beautiful. Look at that. You know, Orion, there was a lot of wars on Orion. And, of course, they've restored balance now, but, you know, time is so different in space than it is now. But Orion, anyways, there was this battle between the masculine and feminine energy, you know, and it's that tug of war between our heart and our mind. And having that fearful mind, the fearful child. And when we go on those healing journeys, when we go into the darkness and we heal from those wounds, you know, we shine a light on the parts of us that have been, you know, abandoned by our own selves, our own minds, our own hearts, because it was painful, you know, and we don't really recognize how deeply our wounds affect us and how much our belief systems affect our reality. And when you do go on the healing journey and you go within and you start to observe and reprocess the experience, the wounds and everything, it helps you to shift and it helps you to expose where you may have, unfortunately, given yourself a belief system about yourself. You know, you agreed to this narrative that you weren't good enough, that you weren't loved, and that you needed to hide away and dim your light in order to fit in. And now you're reclaiming that, you're transforming that, and you're saying, no, I'm going to be me. I'm going to shine in all my beauty and all this beautiful color that I am. And we're going to go have fun. I love me, and I don't need the approval of, you know, where I may have not had approval. I'm going to give myself that approval. I love me, and I'm going to shine my light. I'm going to be my unique self. I'm going to share my gifts with the world, you know. Tapping into your own inner wisdom. Ooh, and you have the angels, 444, divine progress. The angels are with you. You are protected. They're guiding you. They're offering you wisdom, guidance, protection. They're helping you to see things with clarity, to see the truth with clarity. You have some gifts that are going to be coming online for you, pile number 2. Yeah, you're here to bring change. You're here to bring that transformation, because the way that you see things and the way that your connection to the divine, you know, there's a purpose and there's a meaning for your experience, pile number 2. And I feel like you're starting to see the truth, and you're seeing things with a lot more clarity now. Ooh, we have Pluto. Finding the power in the shadow. Beautiful. Transcendent. This came out in pile number 1. A lot of transformation. I mean, we're talking about how are you transforming? You know, how's your life transforming? What lessons have you healed from? And with the Pluto coming out, you know, Pluto is the farthest planet away from the solar system. And so when you connect to Pluto, it is about the death of something, is the end of something. How are you transforming, you know, the old cycle? And that's what's happening. This is you know, the end of the battle, the end of the not being seen, the end of not feeling worthy, not being chosen, you know, not feeling loved and supported. It's the end of that, and you're learning to love yourself and to free yourself from those, you know, past pains and experiences and beliefs and, you know, karmic lessons. You're overcoming them and you're moving forward. And you are so loved and you are so supported. You have the 11th house. Oh, it's beautiful. It's the Star and the Fool in the tarot here. So like your true self, your, you know, your wisdom, your dream, a new beginning, a new version of yourself, your true self coming online, you know, and you're going to connect to like people who really see you, people who love you, people who love your energy, who love your colorful self, that love your unique way of expressing yourself. Some of you have beautiful eyes that are very attractive to others. It's also Aquarius, you know, Aquarius energy coming through with the 11th house. You're very unique. That came through. What's different is what's beautiful about you, pile number 2. Being different doesn't mean, you know, bad or anything's wrong. We're all different, and that's what's hilarious, is that we create these labels and these terms and these definitions, and, you know, we try to be like, oh, this is normal, oh, that's weird. And like to each individual, it means something different. You know what I mean? What I would consider weird is different than what somebody else would consider weird. And then you have to question, is that really weird, or is it just different? You know what I mean? It's an expression, or it's a different color, it's a different shade. Does that mean it's bad? No. But somehow we want to deem things as bad and good instead of it just is, you know? It's it's how the divine expresses itself through all these unique colors, through all these unique sounds and vibrations and energies, and, you know, everything is energy. So it's just an expression of it. Doesn't mean it's good or it's bad, although we can term things as good and bad, of course. I'm not saying that things aren't painful and that's good. No. Ultimately, we experience these painful things because it brings a lesson to us. It shows us, we learn through the contrast of the experience, you know. We learn what love looks like through experiencing what love doesn't feel like, you and therefore we can appreciate what love truly is when we receive it, because we've experienced not having it, and so because of that, we have this desire to want to experience something new, because what we're experiencing does not feel good, because it's not the truth. And so if it doesn't feel good, then there's something that we're not seeing, and you've learned to question, you learn to observe, and to go within and to shift the way that you see or the way that you feel about it. And that's what brings transformation. That's what brings the healing. It's because you're not afraid to go within and to sort things out and to say, this doesn't belong, this isn't my truth, this isn't how I really see myself or how I really see the world. It's just what I was taught or what I was told or something that I believed, because this happened in my life and it hurt me. So I truly believe this. And when you go within and you change it, you heal it, and you say, no more, I no longer see myself this way, and I'm no longer going to let your version of me or your approval take away my love for myself and for my life. And so now I'm going to free myself, and I'm going to love myself and change the way I see things. And then that brings in this activation, because you're stepping into your true self, your true identity, and removing the mask and saying, here I am, this is who I am. And in doing so, you put out this wave of energy, this light that attracts people to you, the right people who are meant to be in your life, the people who see your uniqueness and they love it. They see your beauty, your funniness, your quirkiness, all that stuff, and they enjoy it. They take pleasure in it, and because they themselves resonate with it. You're going to find your soul tribe. That's what I'm feeling. Also, this is like, your goals, your aspirations, connections, etc. Oh, wow. And you have the 12th house. Going deeper or getting lost. This is the moon, but it's also the Hanged Man in the tarot. I gotta get something to drink, All right. So the 12th house is usually like your karma, what you've been through, your pain, your secret fears, hidden enemies, stuff like that, maybe things that you haven't seen. But I feel like this is what you have done. You've transformed that version of your life and brought healing. You've seen what's hidden in the shadows. You've healed from your suffering. That's the transformation that you've been going through. Yes, you got self-care energy. Yes, learning to love yourself, healing, recharge, retreat, all of those things. Learning to pour into your own cup, to love yourself, to love the parts of yourself that didn't feel good enough, that felt rejected and alone. Learning to offer your love to that version of yourself, to receive that love. You're now receiving love. All right, we have separation. Some of you, this could be, when we think of the circle, a ring, it's a pattern, but it's also a commitment. It could be the pattern that you've been trapped in, the loop, broken dreams, heartache. And then we have closed off and guarded, resistance, pride, defensive, wounded, warrior. Yes. So I'm going to put the healing over here. This is the wound where you felt separated, you didn't feel loved, you didn't feel supported. That's the karma, that's the karmic pattern, because it caused you to, close off your heart, to be guarded. It made you hide your light, to protect your heart, and Now there's this energy, this self-care energy, where you feel seen, where you brought light to that version of yourself. You've created space for love to come in now, pile number 2. And you should be so proud of yourself, because we are all beautiful, we are all unique, we are all handsome in the eyes of our Creator. And if people are like judging based on, outside appearances, those are shallow people who haven't met themselves very deep. They're not willing to go into the depths of their soul and to learn the truth about themselves and, connect to themselves that deeply. A lot of people don't take the time to journey within. They're too busy focused on the outside world and, appearances and the materialistic. They haven't tapped into that spiritual depth yet. So have forgiveness and empathy for those individuals. They're not ready for you yet, and so the more that you take off that mask and step into your truth, make sure that you are decisive on who is worth your energy and your love and your time. Not everybody deserves, to have the full you know what I'm saying? Because there's times when, I'm not saying like where we wear a mask, but it's kind of like, there is such a thing as self-protection and self-preservation, like, you're walking into a certain environment where these aren't your people. You don't have to be like over the top and, or overly aggressive to try to prove yourself in any kind of way. You just, there's a time and place for everything, and how to hold yourself in a place of like, I almost want to say like regalness, and grace, where you lead by example. And, we don't always have to, call someone out or tell someone that they're wrong. There's a time when we should, speak. We don't always have to, correct everything that everybody says that we don't agree with. You know what I mean? Like there's a time and a place for everything, and know the company that you're with and the company that you keep, and protect yourself from individuals who don't appreciate that kind of light or the depth of who you are. You know what I mean? You'll know your people when you're around them because of how they make you feel. And if the people that you're around make you want to like hide, that's a contraction energy. Pay attention to that, right? Be more observant of that, because those are all your signals that say, this isn't an individual, like this is like almost like predator type energy, right? And the hare is like a, they're a prey animal, so they protect themselves because they're very sensitive, and they don't fight. They don't have these, hard armor or these big teeth, that are super sharp. They're small, they're delicate, you know what I mean? They're very gentle. So when you're around, predators, you want to protect your light, you want to protect your heart, protect your inner child, and hold your strength, have the courage. You don't have to hide or run away. You're just there for a reason and a purpose, all right? And then when you're around individuals that, praise you, they energize you, you guys like feed off each other's energy, you just like vibe with them, those are the people that you share those delicate, sensitive parts with. You learn who is somebody you can trust and who is somebody who just wants, who makes you want to shut down and hide, and spend limited amounts of time with those types of individuals, right? And dedicate more time to having fun with your people, okay? All right, I'm going to get you a final message. Ooh, okay, and it wants to be this one, I guess. We have attachment. Unhealthy attachments may be hindering your growth and dimming your light. It's time to let go of stagnant energies and release what no longer honors your evolution. Ooh, I love that. I'm still going to get another card, but with the attachment, it's letting go of any fear that you have about not shining your light here, you know? Letting go of anybody, this is what I was just saying, anybody in your life that makes you feel like, you know, you need to hide, that you can't be your true self, that this part of you, you're not allowed to share with the world or share with the individuals. Time to remove yourself from those individuals. Spend this, you know, sometimes this can be your family, sometimes this can be your workmates, you know, and we all have to function in the 3D. So do what you gotta do, but know your people, you know. I'm gonna get you one more. One, please. We have success. Your angels send good news of success on the horizon. Stay focused and you will soon see the rewards of your hard work. Woohoo! That is beautiful. Look at that beautiful angel winged bird here. There's this beautiful light that's coming in and shining down into this whole landscape. Okay, so you're going to be seeing things change for you, pile number 2. A lot of success on the horizon, a lot of good news coming in, a lot of light into this situation because of all the work that you have done. Rewards are on the way. Fun time, divine progress. You are loved and supported. Congratulations. Like I said, you may be getting access to some of your divine gifts. Your reward is on its way for all the hard work, for all the healing that you've done with yourself, pile number 2. Yay! All right, you guys, this was your reading for today. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you like my readings. Comment below if you feel like sharing your story, or just let me know that this reading resonated with you. Appreciate you all. Sending you lots of love. Take care and have a blessed day. Hey, pile number 3, y'all were drawn to the Llama card with the blue Aventurine. Okay, so how are you transforming, pile number 3? Let's take a look. I'm going to pull your cards on camera. Feel free to comment below if y'all like when I do that. I'm going to just mix it up here and there. Every now and then I'll show me choosing the cards for you guys, and sometimes I'll just have them already pre-pulled. It depends on the reading. Sometimes I really enjoy watching the process because I just like to see what Spirit has personally, you know, because sometimes the cards will flip out, and I'm sure y'all have seen that on some of my readings. They just jump out of the deck, and sometimes we intuitively choose them because the cards are speaking to us. So just comment if that's something that y'all enjoy watching as well. And then I'll know what everybody prefers on my channel. Pile number 3. How has pile number 3 transformed? Y'all, it just got super windy outside, and it is a hot summer day here in Georgia. Very hot. 97 feels like in the hundreds. All right, so we have a lot of cards that want to come through, a lot of messages for you all. Pile number 3. How is pile number 3 transformed? You know, transformation represents healing. It's alchemy. It's shifting, it's growing. All right, this one to be left behind, so we're going to pull that one in. Pile number 3, I think these will be the final ones we get for now. Saw you new. Llama says soul growth. Growth is never easy. Have faith and trust in the journey. And it's like, I feel like this one is talking to this one here. Like this is the older one, and this is you and where you're at right now. And I feel like there's some healing of the heart chakra coming through, because I'm looking at the pink mountain and the llama that's wearing the green here. So heart and higher heart connection. This can represent your higher self speaking to the you right now, the physical version of yourself that's here experiencing this physical realm. All right, so let's see how you've transformed. Okay, so we have Kairos. I have to look at this one. I can't remember what that one is. Give me just a second to grab the guidebook. Okay. All right, so this card here, y'all, represents divine timing. And I just had a little giggle because we have the llama saying to have faith and trust in the journey, right? So this is all about synchronicity and things having to align and allowing time to unfold as it should, you know, and to pay attention to the signs. And we have the self. I mean, look at that. This expansion, the growth into yourself, the version of you that has always, you know, existed. It's like your divine self, your true self. But can we have the soul growth here? Pay attention to the signs and symbols. Growth is never easy. Have faith and trust in the journey. So a lot of healing. So you have healed and overcome, like a lot. Yeah, a lot of heart healing here. And I'm seeing these like bells on these llamas' necks, you know? Bells. Someone's at the door, something arriving. Yeah, you've been waiting to see something with the have faith. What are you waiting to see? Something to be revealed here. Let's see. We have trust coming through. Trust in divine timing. All right, I feel like you're still in that phase. Okay, you're trying to rush ahead on the journey because you have alchemized, you've healed, you are transforming, but you're still in this like this purification phase at the moment where things are falling away. Also with the cleanse, I'm hearing the go with the flow, you know, trust, allow things to unfold according to that divine timing, maintain your balance here. Don't try to rush ahead, right? Because then that's forcing the energy. You're trying to force things to move faster than the plan. Okay, and when we do that, we miss opportunities, we miss the signs, or we miss the guidance where we're being led, or shortcuts along the path, you know, where we could have maybe turned like 2 blocks ago. We could have stepped off this this part of the journey, you know, and found that answer that you were looking for, but you were too busy, you know, focusing over here and looking maybe for something that maybe wasn't the right direction. And so Spirit's been trying to maybe guide you to a different path that's more aligned to like your truth, to your destiny, to your calling here. And if you're too busy focused on, you know, maybe putting out the energy of when, or, you know, I want it now, I'm not seeing it, when's it going to happen? And so we try to force and control things, and it puts us in this masculine energy of exerting energy, exerting our will and trying to force it on the reality that we're in. And what your guides are coming through and saying is you're still in the process of healing and growth and changing and transformation. And you have to allow that process to resolve, to finish, to come to completion. before moving forward. There's this still merging that's taking place. There's this alignment that has to happen in order for you to be on a particular path, all right? To have specific, you know, we all sign contracts, so maybe there's a specific person you're supposed to meet at a specific day and time along your journey, or there's a specific opportunity that needs to come in. But let's say the opportunity that's for you, maybe somebody else is in that position already, and so, but they have to be offered an opportunity first so that they can shift and move on to where they're supposed to be on the path, so that you can then move up and take, you know, their place along the path. We're all growing and we're all ascending and moving forward. And as some of us learn lessons and we graduate classes, we move up into the next class, and then our position gets filled by somebody else who's waiting to graduate and move up a class as well. See, everything has to align and at a specific time in order for things to work out, you know, in this beautiful, magical, synchronistic way that the divine has organized it. You know, it's this beautiful thing, but it can be a little frustrating sometimes when things aren't moving faster than we'd hope, or we haven't seen that transformation take place in our physical reality around us yet, right? But there's this faith and trust that's coming through here for you, this guidance to have faith and trust, and to just know and believe that it has been done, that you have accomplished it, and that things are going to align for you, and you will see it. All right, you have to trust in the journey, trust in the process, stay balanced, stay in that flow state, and allow things to unfold. Oh, let's put these over here. We have closed up and guarded. We have the inner child healing. This one came out pile number 2. We got a bunch of these. Yeah, see, I feel like this is the version of you now speaking to your inner child, you know, the younger version of you, and giving that version of yourself that confidence, and, you know, the like older sister, older brother, you know, hang in, it's gonna be okay, you know, growth isn't easy, but you have to have faith and trust in the journey, trust in the process. We have the truth, new perspective, seeing the truth, clear action and honesty. We have reunion coming through here. We have the North Node in Destiny. And we have fulfillment and wish. Woo! Yes. Okay. So we have the inner child healing coming through. And then we have the expression of truth, seeing the truth, you know, honest communication. I feel like this is what you're waiting to see. You're waiting to see, like, the fruits of your labor. Maybe you're waiting to see the physical transformation taking place on the outside. It's like you're wanting proof, you know, and your guides are saying you need to have trust and belief and faith, and know that success is yours, that happy endings is yours, a happy outcome is in the future here. It is your destiny. It's part of your, you know, your karma, your good karma here. Perhaps some of you are waiting for, I just got a feeling of the soulmate. Some of you have been waiting for that certain someone. I want the love of my life. When am I going to have that person for me, you know? When am I going to align to my heart, my soulmate? I got to cover that one up a little bit. We have fated partnership, okay? We also have fate and evolution, karmic challenges and karmic rewards. Like, this is a journey, you know? And it's one that you chose to go on, your soul, for your soul's, like, highest growth. You, like, you chose to take this class, you know, and this is the process that you have to go through. These are the lessons you got to learn and overcome, and you got to expose the lies and see the truth, heal from these wounds, open your heart, learning to love yourself, healing from those wounds and those old belief systems, learning the truth about who you really are, what love feels like, what it looks like, and discerning, you know, truth from illusion. And now, going on that healing journey, you're asking, okay, well, where is my true love then? When am I going to start seeing, you know, the fruits of my labor? And what I can tell you, like if this is regarding relationship, the more that you love yourself and you know who you are and you know what your needs are, you know, and you fill in your cup and you're like, well, I know my worth, I know my value, and the right person is going to align with me in divine timing. My guides are showing me signs, sending me signs that love is on its way, and I keep feeling it, and I keep, you know, believing in it, and, you know, just pouring into my cup. So where is it? I just feel like you're asking, you're questioning. We have wisdom coming through, and look, we have true love. That's beautiful. Hang on. Okay, so with wisdom and true love, this is, you know, your higher self telling you that, you know, true love is it's part of your destiny. It's what you're meant to receive, okay? But you just got here, you know what I mean? I feel like you just went through this process. You're still in the cleansing and the healing of it, all right? So it's okay right now to just lean into loving yourself, appreciating yourself, getting to learn more about yourself, so that when you encounter this person, it will be this like immediate connection. It'll be that immediate, fated, destined moment where you will recognize, you know, yourself in that person, and it will be this like beautiful, you know, moment in your heart. It will feel like, you know, it'll be like the happiest moment, and you will feel so happy and so proud of yourself that you didn't settle for less than your worth, that you knew and trusted that the divine was going to bring you to this divine synchronistic moment where it all just like worked out. It was this weird synchronistic magical way, and you're going to be so happy. We have the sword coming through, Archangel Michael. He's helping you to cut the cords of the past, of any unhealthy relationships, any unhealthy belief systems that may, you know, prevent you from knowing your worth and your value. But I feel like this is it. This is the cleansing period. You're still in the cleansing and the healing of this release, of this old relationship, this old version of yourself coming through with the house, the first house, sorry. This is the Emperor and the Tower in the Tarot. You know, it's got that Aries energy, this your self-identity. Who am I? And I feel like this is you redefining like your version of love and the ways that you see yourself and, you know, see your life. That cleansing of that old version of you here, old personality, the cleansing of the ego, old version of yourself, so that this new beginning can come in. And we have the 9th house. Ooh, a lot of growth. Yeah, and we have these mountains for you. You know, I feel like, yeah, you've been working very hard. But also with the mountain, this is like, you know, wisdom. It also represents your journey, you know, the journey that you're meant to go on, your destiny, your purpose. And this card, we have the Wheel of Fortune coming through, Sagittarius energy, Temperance, you know, finding that balance, finding the truth, things shifting for you. Life is shifting for you. The journey is shifting for you. And we have, the ninth house is also your, your purpose and your beliefs, your truths. The journey that you've been on, the journey of self-discovery. Woohoo! Yes. You've been learning a lot about yourself. Yeah, and I feel like you're like, okay, I've been on this journey by myself for a long time. I'm ready for true love. I'm ready for that soul connection here. And you have the seventh house with relationships coming through. Yeah. Oh. You're wanting that love of your life. And it's coming through. It's here in the reading. I mean, it's meant for you. And we have the Virgo. Yeah, you've been learning through relationships and learning a lot about yourself and a lot about your needs, a lot about who you are, a lot about love and what love feels like and looks like and how you want to receive it. Learning to be, I feel like you've learned to be independent, and you can, go it on your own if must, because you're very wise, you're very smart, you're not afraid, but you are definitely looking for that true love. You're on that quest, that journey, but you've had to go on this journey of self-discovery to learn about what it is that you want from a relationship, and having healthy standards, healthy boundaries, more love for yourself. But you would, you could do it on your own, but you want someone there. Like, you want company, you want love, you want someone who's there with you, somebody who wants to learn about life with. Someone that you can make a home with, yes. Okay, so you've done the work, and your guides are telling you that this love that you're wanting to bring in, to have patience and pay attention to the signs and synchronicities. That's the information coming through. So how have you transformed? You've healed some inner wounds. You've been working on yourself. Getting to know who you are, the type of love that you want in your life. You've learned to cut the cords to maybe old past relationships, old versions of self, and the ways that you would relate to others or tolerate certain individuals. Healed some old wounds, childhood wounds even, and now you're ready for love. Woohoo! And you're wanting to know, when's it coming? And we have divine timing. Be open to receive, and keep focusing on loving yourself, healing and cleansing and purifying, and to be open to seeing the guidance that's coming in. Okay, we have knowledge coming through for you. You're being called to explore new ideas and to seek knowledge that resonates with your soul's truth. This is a time of intellectual and spiritual awakening. Okay. Explore new ideas. Seek knowledge that resonates with your truth. Yes. Connecting to yourself first, right? So we have to have self-knowledge, knowledge about who we are, knowledge about our needs, attracting people in our lives. Because if you're attracting people that are, low vibrational, people who are very toxic, they're the type, they don't take responsibility for their actions, they make excuses, they're very self-absorbed, they don't really think about how their actions affect others, they don't think about other people's needs or your needs in the relationship, and you have to, go within and understand, well, why am I attracting these types of partners, and there's something in me that I need to change or I need to heal that's no longer a match vibrationally for these types of individuals, you know, and sometimes we don't know what our needs are until our needs aren't being met. And so then you learn a lot about yourself, you know, a lot of self-reflection here. So I feel like you're still in a place of cord removal from anybody who is not the right match for you, and knowing self, you know, knowledge is power, you know, and so when we know where our wounds are, and we know our needs, then we can set up that boundary that says, this is what I'm looking for, and this is what I want in my life, and I'm not settling. You know, I'm not going to lower my standards, lower my worth and my value because I'm afraid of being alone. Like, it's being confident enough to be alone, because alone means that you're connected to all. You're a part of everything and everyone, you know, and you're given that opportunity to self-reflect and to go within and learn yourself on a deeper level, you know, to learn the truth about what love really is and how love feels, you know, by you getting to learn what your love feels like. What does your love feel like, you know, by giving that to yourself. I'm going to get your final, one more card. Let's see what else wants to come through. Pile number 2. How are they transformed? Yeah. You know a lot about what you want to tolerate and what you don't want to tolerate. We have restraint. Clear your heart and mind before making important decisions. Acting hastily from negative states can lead to regretful actions. See? You don't rush ahead, pile number 2. All right? The guidance coming in is yes, you have met yourself on that deeper level. You've gone within and done the self-reflection, and you're like, okay, when am I going to see it? When's it coming in? Have some restraint. Know thyself, right? Connect to the divine. Be open to receiving, you know, guidance, signs and synchronicities, you know, because your guides are telling you, you know, they may be dropping little things here and there just to remind you that you are worthy and that you are deserving, and that this partnership is part of, you know, your plan and your destiny. You just have to allow things to align so that that perfect person is you know, open at the same time that you are open, you know, and not to just settle for anything just because you don't want to be alone, because you're just going to be met with another partner that's not going to satisfy you, that's not going to have that full connection, you know, and then it's going to be more heartache and more heartbreak and, you know, more work than it would be if you were just, you know, staying in your center, being open to receiving, still pouring into your cup and working through whatever you're still trying to integrate, okay? Because you're still cleansing and purifying, and we don't want to go backwards. We want to keep moving forward, okay? Because we have this success, this wish fulfillment, happy outcome ahead. We just got to trust and hang in, okay? All right, pal number 3, this was your reading. Thank you all so much for joining me in the temple today. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you like my readings. Comment below if you feel like sharing your story, or let me know how this reading resonated with you. I'm sending y'all lots of love. Take care and have a blessed day.